Oh, they smell so relaxing. But that sweet candle burning in your room might be slowly but surely poisoning your lungs. Yep, even those from fancy high-end stores. They may look elegant, give off an aura of sophistication, make you feel like you've just stepped into a scene from Sex and the City, but all that ambiance comes at a cost. The truth is, most mass-produced candles are like tiny little factories of toxic fumes pumping potentially dangerous stuff right into your living space. And nobody tells you this because nobody seems to know this. So let's finally lift the lid on this smelly secret and reveal what really happens when you light up those scented candles. One sniff around, and you already know something smells amazing. That intoxicating aroma is exactly what candle companies work hardest to perfect. But how do they do it? Well, with a mix of wax and fragrance. Two very different ingredients with two very different impacts on your health. Let's start with the wax. At its most basic, wax is just a substance used to hold the fragrance in the candle and allow it to melt and release that lovely scent as it burns. Now there are many different types of wax, each derived from various natural or synthetic sources like beeswax, soy wax, palm wax, paraffin wax, the list goes on. And of all these, paraffin wax is by far the most popular. Why? It's cheap, easy to work with, holds fragrance well, burns evenly, and lasts a long time. It pretty much has everything candle companies could ask for except for one teeny problem. Paraffin wax is made from petroleum, the same stuff that powers our cars and trucks. And if you know anything about petroleum, then you know it's a cocktail of nasty chemicals including benzene and toluene. Yeah, those are the exact same chemicals found in exhaust fumes. And yes, they're also known carcinogens. When you burn paraffin wax, those harmful chemicals get released into the air as volatile organic compounds, or VOCs, which are basically just fancy science talk for airborne nasties. Now here's where things get extra icky. Those VOCs don't just disappear into thin air. They stick around in your house, creating an invisible cloud of indoor air pollution. And that's a problem because we're sitting ducks in our own homes. The EPA estimates that people spend about 90 of their lives indoors. So all those VOCs start to add up over time, day after day, year after year. Some studies have linked VOCs from paraffin wax to things like eye, nose, and throat irritation, headaches, nausea, even certain types of cancer. But wait, it gets worse. There's another ingredient that's often added to paraffin wax to help it hold fragrance better. It's called methylchloroisothiazolinone, or MCIT for short. And you guessed it, this chemical is also used in industrial processes like metal cleaning and wood preservation. Basically anything that needs some serious hardcore disinfecting. And when this chemical reacts with other substances in the candle or in your home, it forms even more toxic compounds. Yep, you're basically turning your cozy candlelit dinner into a chemistry experiment gone wrong. And all that toxic stew starts to take a toll on your body. Studies have shown that MCI can cause skin allergies, respiratory problems, and even affect hormone function. And what's really scary is that it's considered an endocrine disruptor, meaning it messes with your body's hormone levels. And we all know how important hormones are for basically everything from mood to metabolism. So by burning a candle with MCIT, you're essentially introducing a chemical hazard into your home. Okay, now let's talk about that other main ingredient, fragrance. Fragrance is what makes candles smell so delicious, what sets the mood, and gives you that warm, fuzzy feeling. At least that's what you think. But the truth is that lovely lavender or fresh linen scent you're burning might be hiding a not-so-lovely secret. Most candles use synthetic fragrance to achieve those perfect smells. And no, we don't mean like fresh-cut grass or rain on a summer day. We mean a complex mix of chemicals that can include phthalates, formaldehyde, and even acetone, the same stuff used in nail polish remover. Phthalates are used to make fragrances last longer, and they're basically everywhere, from shampoos to soaps, air fresheners, and yeah, candles. But there's a catch. Phthalates can wreak havoc on your hormones. Studies have linked them to reproductive issues, asthma, and even certain cancers. And the worst part, companies don't have to disclose exactly what chemicals they use to create those enticing scents. One study analyzed 317 candles from various retailers and found that nearly half contained at least one potentially toxic chemical. Another analysis of 185 online candle retailers revealed that 21% of them had safety concerns, with 6% posing potential hazards. These findings are consistent with earlier research. For example, a study examining 100 randomly purchased candles identified 44 containing at least one probable human carcinogen based on available scientific evidence. Additionally, a quarter of the candles were emitting soot when burned. Soot is a known carcinogen and a sign of incomplete combustion caused by an insufficient supply of oxygen to fuel. And let's not forget about the humble lead core wick, especially in older candles or cheaper ones. They might contain lead, the same toxic metal that's harmful to your brain and nervous system. When heated, these wicks release lead and other metals into the air, making it unsafe to breathe in. Switching to lead-free wicks is a simple but effective step towards ensuring cleaner air in your home. Just imagine it as a small yet significant change that can protect your health and well-being. But wait, there's more. All these nasties don't just float away once the candle's blown out. They stick around in your house like unwanted house guests refusing to leave. And here's the kicker. You can't even see them or smell them. They become part of what's called the indoor air you breathe in every day, along with everything else in the air: dust, pollen, pet dander. That's why it's not uncommon for people to experience symptoms like sneezing, itchy eyes, or a sore throat after lighting up their favorite scented candle. But it's not just about what you breathe in. Candles release tiny solid particles into the air called particulate matter, or PM for short. These particles are so small, they can penetrate deep into your lungs and even make their way into your bloodstream. Studies have shown that long-term exposure to high levels of PM can increase the risk of heart disease, stroke, and lung cancer. And so what's a girl to do? Ditch candles altogether, right? Well, maybe not so fast. There are some safer alternatives out there. Soy wax candles, for instance, are made from soybeans, which are a renewable resource unlike petroleum. Plus, soy wax burns cleaner and longer than paraffin. Beeswax candles are another option, giving off a natural honey-like scent. They're also made from a renewable resource, have antibacterial properties, and apparently improve air quality. Oh, and don't forget the humble tea light, tea. These bad boys burn brighter and longer than regular candles and produce less smoke. They're also way cheaper, meaning you can afford to burn multiple candles at once and fill your home with the sweet scent of nothing. Now let's talk about fragrance, because you're not going to find many candles that smell like freshly cut grass or rain on a summer's day unless you want to open your windows and let in the real thing. Synthetic fragrance is the name of the game here, but that doesn't mean you have to go for the nastiest chemicals out there. Look for candles that use phthalate-free fragrance or essential oils for a safer, more natural scent. And whatever you do, avoid candles with solvents like acetone or alcohols like isopropyl alcohol. These can seriously harm your lungs and are just not worth the risk. Oh, and one final tip. Always burn candles in a well-ventilated area. This is key to keeping those pesky VOCs and particulate matter levels down to a minimum. Trust us, your lungs will thank you. And hey, if you still want to burn those regular old candles every night, follow for more tips on how to burn them safely. Drop a candle emoji below if you're burning candles tonight. And remember, not everything that smells good is good for you.